What is up, Homemade Nation? Mwah! Mwah! Lena, what's up? I love it. Oh, hi, Chrissy. Hi, everybody. So good to see you. Amazing. Debbie C., what is up, buddy? Oh, happy spring. I'm so excited to celebrate with everyone. I have literally feel like I have not taught a class in forever. It's been like a month, which for me is a long time. My goal is to do more classes this year, but teach less and bring more faces forward. And I just find that I miss you guys a lot more. So now I want to get back in. I just hope you guys are all doing great. Everything is awesome over here in Seattle and at Homemade, and the sun is shining. After class today, I'm going to go meet my family at the park and have a little bit of a picnic. It's that time of year. And today we are making a spring feast to match it. We're so excited. We know that some people are kind of logging in, so we're going to give them a little bit of time. I always love if you guys are open to it, telling us in the chat where you are logging in from. We'd love to know where in the world you are. I'd also love to know your favorite spring ingredient. I always say ingredients is kind of like friends from a long time ago and re-seeing them, right? Like, I don't really eat tomatoes unless it's summer, or I don't really eat asparagus unless it's spring, but when those seasons come back, it's like seeing an old friend. It really is. It's like, oh yeah, I love asparagus. Then I eat it for 3 months straight, I get sick of it, and I'm ready to let go of it for the next 9 months. So I'd love to know, what is your favorite spring ingredient? Meg, what do we got in the chat?
Asparagus.
Yes.
Asparagus. My favorite is like snap peas. I'm really into the peas right now.
We call them crunchies in our house.
Yeah, the crunchies.
They're so good.
Strawberries.
Strawberries. I'm also artichokes.
Ooh.
A lot of labor, but it is a labor of love. You guys welcome. I'm Joel. If we've never met before, I'm the head chef and founder here at Homemade. I'm really excited to be in the kitchen with you today. If this is your first time, this is not like Food Network. This is not like YouTube. You can talk to me by raising your hand, or you can engage in the chat, which is run by another one of our chefs. Amazing. Give it up for Meg. Hi, Meg.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello.
Meg is legendary. And if you think that I am good at cooking, I'm okay at cooking, but Meg makes me look really good at cooking. She always sets me up for success. Incredibly knowledgeable, Chef Meg is. So if you have questions about what we're using today, ingredients, techniques, please go in the chat and let Meg know. Yes?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
We have someone who watched Homemade Live on PBS today.
Yes. If you guys haven't caught our show on PBS, it's national. So if you have access to PBS, which we should all have access to PBS, make sure to check it out. It's our cooking show called Homemade Live. It's like our classes, just with celebrities and a live studio audience. And we're filming again in 2 months. I can't believe it. We've got some amazing guests, like Bill Nye, the science guy. Katie Couric is coming on. So we've got some really cool guests for season 2. But guys, today it's all about making things a little easier. And spring, like I said, has sprung, so we want to make a spring feast. But when we think feast, I think like Thanksgiving, and I think about plopping on a couch after the meal, being exhausted, standing for hours, stressed out. The reality is, cooking doesn't need to feel like that. You do need the right tools, and one of the things that is becoming so popular are multi-cookers. If you've heard that term before, I know a lot of people have heard of things like slow cookers, pressure cookers. These multi-cookers are incredible, and we absolutely love the one from Aroma Housewares. These guys are incredible. Aroma, we'll show you guys the logo so you guys can see it. Awesome Mother's Day deal that we're going to talk about in the chat, but incredible, really simple, easy to use, super easy to maintain, great to wash. But we're going to show you why these help and why this kind of feels like a shortcut, and it almost makes things too easy. And we took on some tough things, cakes and risottos, to kind of prove that this doesn't have to be so hands-on. It can be enough hands-on, and then you can kind of just forget it. So We're going to make 3 things today for our spring feast. The first is we're going to make a risotto. We're going to do it carbonara inspired. Carbonara, if you've never heard of it, it's that pancetta, kind of Parmesan creamy pasta, but we're going to make it into a risotto. It's going to be incredible. We're going to show you one of our favorite asparagus dishes. Everyone said they love asparagus. I also love asparagus. I also think asparagus gets screwed up all the time. Why? People overcook it, period. It's just like way overcooked, too mushy, gets caught in your teeth. I want to show you guys how to cook asparagus gorgeous for the season. And then finally, you're not going to believe this, we're going to make a cake in this multi-cooker. So it's not only great for high heat cooking like sauteing, we'll talk about that, or steaming, but it actually bakes. And there's a huge advantage to cooking it in Aroma as well. We'll talk about that, but we're going to make a rhubarb cake. I'm definitely taking that to my picnic after this with my family. It's going to be great. So here we go. Let's start with risotto. First and foremost, when you have these multi-cookers, a lot of them don't have a saute function, meaning it doesn't get high enough heat. They'll do other things, but they don't sear, they don't caramelize. Aroma does. So you pop open the lid, and we've had this preheated on kind of a saute function. Really, really easy. You grab some olive oil, just a couple of glugs in the bottom of the pan here. And then we add 2 ingredients to this. So I've got pancetta and shallots. So while the pancetta is cooking, and you can, I don't know if you guys can hear it on my mic. I'm gonna put it in there. I don't know another multi-cooker that you can literally sizzle and render out bacon or pancetta in it. But who can tell me what is pancetta? I know we've talked about this before, but what is it? And I'm adding the shallots in with the pancetta. Anyone know? What are they saying in the chat there, Meg?
Let's see. No one. Oh, Italian bacon, thin pork, uncured bacon. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, okay. When you think about bacon, it's a big belly of pork. And in the States, we cure it, we smoke it, and we cut it. But in Italy, they roll it with black pepper, sometimes fennel seeds and spices. So pancetta is like a rolled bacon. I think it has so much more flavor, and they keep a lot of the fat on it in Italy, so it gives a lot more fat when you're cooking it. So I am team pancetta over team bacon. If you can't find pancetta, you can absolutely use bacon for this. But what I got going here in the bottom of our Aroma is I've got our shallots, our pancetta, and this is cooking gorgeous. Now again, if you don't have a multi-cooker, you can totally do this recipe. Do it in a pan. The problem is, with risotto especially, you kind of have to babysit it. And what's nice about Aroma and these multi-cookers is it kind of takes the guesswork out of it. There's a lot of preset functions where it senses what stage of cooking it is and kind of carries it for you. So you don't have to sit here and stir forever. You don't have to worry about heat changing, right? Like in the beginning on a pan, you want to start kind of low to render these onions and these beautiful pancetta, but then you want to turn it a little higher to kind of regulate the heat and cook off all the stock. So this does it all for you. You don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm just cooking this through. When we talk about rice for risotto, and for those of you guys who are not familiar with risotto, it is a gorgeous, creamy rice dish. But what makes it creamy is the rice. You can add a little cream to it like we are today, or butter or cheese like we are today. No butter, but definitely cheese. But the rice is really important. You can make risotto with any rice, but the best rice is arborio rice. I'll hold this up. It's like a very short grain rice, but high starch content, meaning when it cooks, it becomes really creamy. If you can't find arborio rice, you can look for sushi rice, which has a really good starch content. The Rolls Royce of rices, though, is canaroli rice. Canaroli rice. So if you can find that, that's the really nice rice. Arborio, though, is very traditional. And honestly, Meg, I don't know. I feel like you can find it anywhere now, don't you? Most places.
Yeah, these days.
Yeah,
you definitely
these days.
can.
But our sushi rice, you can, I mean, I think I've seen sushi rice in like a 7-Eleven. I'm not even kidding. I've seen sushi rice in a 7-Eleven. Whoever's making sushi rice out of a 7-Eleven, I give kudos to. All right, so at this point, the shallots, the pancetta smell outrageously good. And you want to take your short grain rice and you just want to kind of sprinkle it in. Again, this is so rare for a multi-cooker to do this all in one pan like this. Toast the rice. Typically, you have to kind of do this step on a different kind of saute pan and then transfer it. But with Aroma, it's all in one spot. Cool. So you just give this about a minute to toast. You don't need to add any salt because honestly, there's a lot of salt in the pancetta. It's like bacon in that way. And then I got 2 ingredients that's in every rice or every risotto. White wine and vegetable stock or chicken stock will work, okay? So once you've given this rice just a minute to toast, you want to give it like a minute just to get a little bit of like, not only does it give it a little nuttiness, but it allows the pancetta fat to kind of coat each grain of rice. That way they don't stick together and they kind of stay individual. Hopefully that makes sense. This is called toasting or parching the rice. All right, I'm going in with a little bit of dry white wine. And I'm going in with some veggie stock. And I just want to scrape the sides of my multi-cooker. And then this is where it gets kind of crazy. So again, if you're cooking this in a pan, this is where you have to start thinking about it. And you have to start standing there, stirring it, kind of worrying about it, right? You can do other things, but you need to babysit it. With Aroma, you put the lid on, you kind of restart the system. And then, I don't know, Mikhailo, if we can get really close in. Yeah, there we go. But if I press risotto, right? But you can see they have all these other functions. So if you're cooking quick rice, oatmeal, soup, we're going to do cake. You can slow cook. This, we counted. This saves you like 15 different pieces of equipment. These are really affordable too. So it's just one of those things where it makes sense. It saves you space, it saves you money, and it saves you a heck of a lot of time. So now that this is on risotto, it senses, it knows where it is heat-wise so that the rice doesn't overcook, keeps it al dente, and I don't have to babysit it. So I'm just gonna move on to the next thing, but I'll take any questions about the risotto in that kind of stage right there. Anything we got in the chat?
Not quite
No?
yet. I'm
All
just
right.
sharing the models, these 2 cookers that we're using. We're using a 20 quart
Yes.
and an 8 quart.
Is it quart or cup?
Oh,
We'll double
cup,
check.
cup.
Cup. Yeah, this is the 20
quart
cup.
would be so many.
This is the 8 cup. Yep.
Is risotto gluten-free?
Risotto is gluten-free. Yes. I know all the gluten-free things because my wife is gluten-free. So yes, rice is gluten-free. Also, I know a lot of people are asking about the color. This is a black, kind of nice, refined, beautiful shine finish. This one's more of a gray, matte finish. I'm digging the gray. I like them both. But you can see kind of a color difference. All right, I'm grabbing a little thing on the stove here. So, like we all love, and I think some people don't love, and that's cool, but we're going to talk asparagus for a second. And I honestly think when you have really fat, sweet asparagus, like right now in the spring, it's one of the best vegetables on earth. It's so fast. On the grill, it takes a minute, 2 minutes. Honestly, this is why people overcook it. It should be very, very cooked quickly. But, you know, if you go eat asparagus in like November, they're like thin little pencils. I don't love that asparagus. I like them fat and meaty, okay? And you can only find that in the spring. So when you get a bunch of asparagus, I'm going to show you guys one of our favorite recipes here at Homemade. We want to simply steam it, and we want to make this gorgeous herby butter to go on top of it. So when you buy it, you'll notice when you look at the asparagus, can we get in tight here, Mikhailo? I'll hold it to camera. There's kind of like, it gets very thin at top and then kind of gets fatter, 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 fatter near the bottom. This right here, you cannot eat whole. You can blend it into soups, you can make stock out of it, things like that, but you cannot chew this. It's really woodsy, right? Even hard to cut through. So this part you want to trim off the asparagus. I've been to so many dinner parties, I can't even count. Meg, I don't know about you, who don't take this part off. Guys, I can't chew through it. I can't chew through it. Am I wrong?
No, that's awful. And you're trying to be polite.
Trying to be
like,
polite.
What do I do with this?
And
yeah.
honestly, I've been to a restaurant where, same thing, if I'm on a date and someone put this in my dish at a restaurant, dude, I'm chewing it. It's like bubble gum. You can't get through it. So it's very fibrous. It's not going to kill you. It's just hard to eat. So I like to trim one where kind of like the white, you can see where the white kind of turns to green. Michaela, yeah, there we go. Trim one. And then grab the rest of the bunch and kind of line them up like little soldiers. And take your trimmed one and kind of just measure. See that? Can even, yeah, there you go. Nice. And then just kind of follow the lines there. Again, do not throw away the bottoms at all. Save these. It's one of those things where everyone's like, well, what do I do with them right away? Freeze them. You don't have to, don't worry about cooking them now. You have enough stuff going on, but freeze them. And then you can use them later on. This, to me, makes the best asparagus soup. Like, you don't need the whole asparagus thing. One day you're going to come home, you're going to toss all of your asparagus into an aroma, top it with some vegetable stock, maybe a little bit of cream, cook it till the asparagus is nice and soft, blitz that up, and you have a gorgeous, healthy asparagus soup. All right. But today, not asparagus soup, a really simple steamed asparagus dish. So you can leave these whole, and our risotto, which is happening right now, which is pretty cool, you could grab the steamer basket, which comes with the aroma. You could literally put it on top of the risotto and just steam the asparagus right there. So option for you. We have a little baby one. We wanted to show you guys the 8 cups, which is tons of space. You might want to give it a little bit of a trim, so I'm just going to cut these guys in half. Right? And then what you do is you just pop this up, and this is on the steam function. And I don't know if you guys can see this, Mikhailo, all the moisture that's in here, but you just kind of plop these in, right? See how much we can kind of fit in here. A lot, actually. My gosh, I'm a little surprised. That's a lot. I could eat all that asparagus. I am such an asparagus fiend. You have no idea. So I'm going to let that steam for about a minute or two, which is like the perfect amount of time to make the sauce. All right. For the sauce, I've melted unsalted butter. I've said this a billion times. Guys, always unsalted butter. The only time you use salted butter is when? That's a trivia question. When would you want to use salted butter? I hear the Jeopardy song going off. Da, da, da. When do you use salted butter? What's it say in the chat?
We gotta wait for someone to chime in.
No one
here.
knows. I stumped
Here we
the
go.
crew.
Breakfast toast.
Okay, I was going to say bread. So like table bread. I put salted butter on the table. I let it come to room temp. That's great. If it's going to spread on a nice piece of toast, awesome. I never cook with salted butter because it's too salty. And you can't really control it. So always, always cook with unsalted butter. So I've melted a couple of tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm grabbing some dill, which to me is like the springiest herb of all. Just a nice handful of fresh dill. On our board it goes. And just kind of chop this up roughly. And we're going to make this like dilly butter. Chop it up nice and fine. Dill's one of those herbs you can cut really, really fine. And it still tastes really vibrant. So I'm going to go with about a couple tablespoons of chopped dill. This butter would be amazing, by the way, with artichokes, which I already told you I love. I'm going to grab some black pepper and some salt. That risotto smells so good. And then the recipe does not call for this, but I'm kind of into this idea. Up to you. But I like to put a little lemon in this. And if you think about what we're doing here, we're making a little vinaigrette. Instead of oil, we're using butter as our fat. But we have just, if you want to be done with this and just pour this dilly butter over the asparagus, great. But I think a nice squeeze of lemon just adds a pop. And lemon, as we all know, loves vegetables. Just makes them taste bright. So we mix that in, and let's give it a little taste. We just made that kind of a warm vinaigrette. Delicious. I want a little more salt. I'm a chef. There's not enough salt in the world for me. Not enough salt in the world. All right, let's check the asparagus. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Literally, almost done. So, Michaela, you want to hold this? Yeah. So let's do the asparagus test. If this asparagus was to slump over, which we've all had that asparagus, it is overcooked. But if you can hold asparagus up and it holds its shape, that is properly cooked asparagus. 30 more seconds. It is really good. It's crunchy, sweet, to die for. I'm an asparagus snob. I mean, especially in the spring. It's just so good. All right, so check this out. Look how much, by the way, this 8-cup Aroma has all the same functions, but look how much that holds. And again, like the whole time below, you guys can see the water below, but I could be poaching some salmon, sauteing some fish or scallops or chicken, so you can have one whole meal literally in one multi-cooker. You don't have to get multiple of these. Just buy one, it does it all. All right, take all this gorgeous steamed asparagus right onto a platter. Make it look kind of rustic and natural. It's so warm and beautiful. And then you just grab this herby butter. And you just kind of dress the asparagus. By the way, I wouldn't be mad if like a little Parmesan went over the top of this. And then you can grab some more herbs. Totally up to you. But this time I wouldn't chop them. I would rip them. Kind of leave them whole. Just like this. Maybe some fresh parsley, whatever you got. I know everyone's gardens are kind of springing right now, but just kind of leave it more leafy. And that took 5 minutes for this perfect asparagus dish. Let's hold this up. Look at that. You know what else would be killer on that is chili flakes. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll hold it one more time close, Michaela, so you can see. You can see the little vinaigrette underneath. I mean, that's just one of those gorgeous spring dishes. Perfect asparagus. I'm going to drag it through the butter, a lemon.
Yeah, I think so many recipes I see over steam the vegetables, or like call for just way too much time, and like especially when everything's so fresh and delicious, I want a little crunch. I want it to be super green.
Yes.
And just like lemon and butter. Come on.
Simple. That is the dream right there. I mean, by the way, as the steamer is going, you can look at what else you have. Steam it up for the week ahead. So like, I know I have some frozen peas. I'm going to put this in the risotto. But if I wasn't and I just wanted to have it in my salads and stuff, I might just put this whole thing in here. Close it up, steam up the peas, put them in the fridge. Or maybe you have some baby carrots. Maybe you've got some celery that's left over. Steam it up, and you'll love snacking on it. A quick steam and not having the whole steamer and the whole thing is a dream. All right. Check this out. Let's just look at the risotto real quick. Looks amazing. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Look how creamy and gorgeous this looks. Oh my gosh, al dente. Stunning. Now you can always adjust how much liquid goes in here. So you can see this risotto. Oh my God, this looks so good. We're going to try it as it is right now. It's been cooking for about 10, 15 minutes. Pretty freaking good. I don't know, guys. Pancetta does it for me every time. I like mine a little bit more, I don't know, fluid. So I'm going to go with about another cup of liquid. But up to you. If you want to stop there and you like it more dry, that's fine. Stir that through. Give it a close. And we'll come revisit it in about 5 minutes to finish it up with all the other goodies. All right, to recap, we have a risotto on the risotto setting in the Aroma. We don't have to worry about it. You can see it's not sticking, it's creamy, it's doing all the work for us. And I can hear the machine turn on, off, and sense what's going on in there. So I don't have to worry about it. So pancetta, a little bit of shallot, white wine, vegetable stock. While that happened, we showed you guys very crunchy, buttery, dilly, herby asparagus dish. This with salmon, this with roast chicken, this with a steak. Dream come true. Now, speaking of dream come true, my wife's favorite all-time dish in the world, or ingredient in the world, is this puppy. No one mentioned rhubarb in their favorite spring ingredients. You guys, I couldn't care less about rhubarb before I met my wife. She then started cooking it for me. I am convinced it is a top 5 ingredient in the world. If you have rhubarb growing in your backyard, if you have neighbors, if you can find it at the grocery store, buy it up now. It lasts for about a month or 2. So spring, really, it's happening right now. But when you cook it, it becomes this strawberry, rosy, sweet, gorgeous ingredient that you just can't get year-round. So I absolutely love rhubarb. Now, when you buy rhubarb, it comes with a very woodsy end that grows in the ground, just like asparagus. And then, obviously, it has the leaves. We all know, or a lot of us know, that the leaves, dare I say, do you know any of this about the rhubarb leaves? You already know?
That they're poisonous?
They're poisonous.
Yeah, I just learned that because I was like, oh my God, I want to like cook a fish inside of a rhubarb leaf.
I know.
And then Chef Diana said, don't do that. It's
don't
poisonous.
do it. Don't. I don't think you'll die, but I think it will make you a little sick. So just trim off the leaves. Everyone's scared when I tell them that, but it's important to tell you guys that. So we've got a little bit of rhubarb, and what we're going to do with this rhubarb is put it in this really simple cake. Now, we're legitimately going to bake a cake or steam a cake inside our Aroma. So add it to one of those 15 functions, but you can legitimately bake inside these. I've made a brownie and a souffle in the Aroma. Try and recreate the moisture, the tenderness that you get in the oven. The oven's dry, right? In the Aroma, it traps the moisture, so it makes your cakes springy, moist, incredibly supple. So that is what we're kind of after today. So with this with this rhubarb, I'm just going to cut little rounds. Rhubarb always reminds me of, I know this is weird, celery. Is that weird? It's like a red celery.
No, that adds up.
That adds up? Okay. So I've got one rhubarb here. I'm just cutting it into bite-sized pieces. If you cut it too small and you cook it in this cake, it tends to just become like disintegrate and become like jam. So just be careful of that. And this is what we like to call a dump cake. Why do we call it a dump cake? Because you dump all the ingredients in and it comes out awesome. So this is one of those beautiful cakes. So when you bake, especially a dump cake, it's 2 teams. It's your dry and it's your wet. So we're starting with a little bit of all-purpose flour. Again, the recipe is on our website, homemadecooking.com. You just click, you register for the class, we give you the recipe instantly. We add some sugar to the flour, and then we've got some baking powder, some salt, a little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg. That's just gonna play really nicely with the rhubarb. And that's the dry ingredients. Mix those up. It's a really simple little cake here. Really important to kind of take your time and mix this before you add the liquid. The second you add the liquid, the cake can become very glutinous. It can become chewy. So you kind of want to whisk all the lumps away. Everyone's like, oh, well, can you sift it? You don't have to sift it. As long as you whisk it, that's doing the same thing as sifting. Just get all the lumps out. Beautiful. Now it's time for the wet. Really, really simple. Start with some oil. Good old-fashioned avocado oil or vegetable oil is great. I got some vanilla paste. I don't know if we can get a close shot of this. Guys, this is vanilla paste. So the paste, you can see how thick it is. It's like molasses. This is better than extract. You can find this a lot of places now, but hopefully you guys can see. I know it's tough on the camera. There's little vanilla bean suspended. So the difference between this and the extract is there's little vanilla beans in there, and you get a lot more vanilla flavor. Now everyone's like, okay, well, what's the ratio? What's the ratio of vanilla extract to vanilla bean paste? It's the same. So if your cookie recipe calls for a tablespoon of extract, you go with a tablespoon of paste. It's just so much more flavorful. So much more flavorful. All right, I got a couple eggs. I am not going to crack the egg right inside the cake batter, because if it's a bad egg, the whole thing is ruined. So I always grab a little bowl, crack it into like a little dish or ramekin just in case, and then you can add it in. Really important. Little bowl. There we go. And then this sets it off. Is you go in with some orange zest. So we're going to zest a whole orange. If you've never zested anything before, you got to have a microplane. You hold it like you're going to give someone a high five or a low five. Hold it in your hand and just rub the outside of the orange or the lemon or the lime or the grapefruit in, but not going over the white bit. See the white bit? Only going over the orange bit. So once you zest one part, move on. You want to zest the whole orange. This with the rhubarb sets this cake up for crazy success. How are we doing in the chat, Meg?
We're doing great.
Yeah?
People are sharing photos of the, people who have made this
stuff?
recipe already. Yeah.
I love it.
Different rhubarb recipes. I was asking what everyone's favorite.
Oh, what is everyone's
rhubarb
favorite?
crisp, rhubarb.
A crisp is a great call.
Rhubarb sauce, and freeze it so you can enjoy it all year round on ice cream.
Yes, like a rhubarb jam type thing.
Yeah.
So good. So guys, I'm grabbing the aroma insert out. We've been getting, again, a lot of questions around how to wash this, how to take care of this. Aroma recommends, this is totally dishwasher safe, but any part of the aroma, it comes with this little spoon, comes with the steamer basket, comes with the insert. They recommend top shelf of the dishwasher just because it's a little bit more gentle, but dishwasher safe, so don't worry about it. So I get this out. We'll get there in a sec. And at this point, I whisk the eggs, all of our avocado oil, the vanilla bean paste, all together. And you make this really simple batter. It's thick, but it is so good. So you just kind of mix this together. This looks great. It's kind of like a dough. Beautiful. And then at this point, in order to not overmix it, I grab a little spatula. And the spatula, again, really, really, really helps with kind of just folding and not overmixing. So at this point, I have this beautiful cake batter. I grab my rhubarb, all in the pool, and just kind of fold that through. This is not like a birthday cake. Meg was bringing this up. This is like a tea cake. This is a very, very fragrant, easy, simple cake. But it's not like overly sweet. This is really nice served with coffee, a little cup of tea, brought to the picnic like I'm doing tonight. Simple, right? Then I grab our aroma insert. You don't need to do this part because this is nonstick, but it's nice to give it a little spray of some vegetable oil as an insurance policy. And then you just kind of grab this batter. Look at this. It's called a dump cake for a reason, guys. The easiest thing in the world. Now, with an oven, you have to preheat the oven, which is hot, heats up the whole house. You have to get a cake pan. You have to get the whole thing going. You worry about it. This, again, right, you just have this nice little, I'll hold this up so everyone can see. Oh, wrong way. Here we go. Hard to see with our lights right now. Let's hold it like this. There you go. Look how beautiful that looks. So this cake, you literally put inside the aroma, and you just turn this puppy on. Oh, are we not plugged in? Maybe we don't have power on this one. But it's okay, because we have a swap. But you literally just press cake. And it heats up gentle. And it's a steam function. Of course, the whole machine is an even heat. But the steam keeps it really, like I said, springy and moist. And this only takes about 15, 20 minutes. And what you're left with is something that looks like this. Now, see if we can get a close-up of that, Mikhailo. It's beautiful. So this is our rhubarb cake. The bummer, and I have to call it out all the time, trust me, the good outweighs the bad. The bummer is it's not going to get the caramelization that you would get in an oven because it's not dry heat. So you're not getting direct heat on top of this you would like an oven. But who cares with cake because it's usually frosted or something like that. So I'd rather have the moisture, or I just had a little bit of powdered sugar over the top. There's nothing that powdered sugar can't make look awesome. That looks beautiful. Look at this. That is a perfect little cake. And that, my friends, is our cake. We have some whipped creme fraiche, which is basically whipped sour cream. So I'll show you guys at the end how I serve that up. But that is dish number 2. We have a steamed rhubarb gorgeous cake, again, made in the Aroma Multi-Cooker. Any questions on that one? Because I know making a cake in a multi-cooker seems crazy. It's not crazy. It's genius. But any questions about that one?
Someone was saying that other cookers recommend covering it so the steam doesn't drip, but we didn't cover it and we didn't have any problem. Like
not at all. In fact, you want a little bit of that steam in there.
Yeah.
Honestly, you want a little bit of that moisture in there. But yeah, I've never had that problem. That's a good call out though. It makes sense. All right, let's check our risotto. Yes, this is what I want. Yes. Perfect. All right, so when you find this perfect texture, yes, stop the heat, turn it all off. Now, how I know this is perfect is I can just tell by the rice it's going to be toothsome, right? It's going to be perfectly cooked. And again, the last time we talked about this rice was like 20, 30 minutes ago. So I didn't have to sit here and babysit it the whole time. Just going to try the rice as is. Yeah, that just blows my mind. I'm sorry, that's just nutty to me that works. I was always taught as like a young chef, risotto you have to sit here and stir and forever, just worry about it. But with aroma, you just don't. I mean, it just takes the guesswork out of it, which is so nice. So I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to stir in a little bit of cream. This is where the carbonara comes in. We want this extra creamy. I'm going to add in a good amount of Parmesan, like a handful of Parm. All the peas in the world because this is a spring feast. A little bit of lemon zest and a squeeze of lemon. And that's going to just brighten the whole thing up. Also, I'm owning it. I'm not overdoing it. A little bit of salt. I need it always. All right, and again, at this point, the aroma's off. So you just mix this stuff in and you have this just creamy, lemony, gorgeous risotto. And what's happening with those peas is those were frozen. So those peas are just becoming kind of defrosted, perfectly al dente themselves. And before this goes onto a plate, I'm just going to try it. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sorry. It's one of the, again, it's just mind-blowing to me that works. Risotto is finicky. I don't know if you guys watch like Top Chef or any of those shows. Whenever someone cooks risotto, they're out. They get called out because they overcook it, they undercook it. To have aroma, know where it's at, right? It's keeping all the flavor, all the texture, and taking the guesswork out of it is just welcome to the 21st century. So I grab a little plate, I put my risotto right in, and then the key with risotto is you want to stack it up into a nice stack. But good risotto, when you tap the plate, it kind of spreads. You guys see that? That's how you know it's the perfect texture. I want a little bit more. 'Cause I love risotto. This is so pure comfort to me. So you have this gorgeous risotto. You top it with a little bit more Parmesan, maybe a glug or two of olive oil. And then, I don't know, I mean, you don't need to do this, but if you have some fresh herbs, it's just, to me, herbs are spring. So I have a little bit more parsley and dill. You don't need to do this, but sure brightens up the look. And that, my friends, is carbonara risotto. Done in 20 minutes without any of the hassle, any of the guesswork, anything. I'll hold this up. That's beautiful. Look at these dishes, guys. This, we wanted to show, I mean, literally, guys, it's been 40 minutes. You know, our classes are 45 minutes. We were a little nervous about doing a whole feast, a whole meal in under 45 minutes. I don't know if we could have on the stovetop. It would have been a lot more dishes, a lot more hassle. Obviously, we thought we could pull it off with Aroma, and here we stand. But hopefully you guys can see each one of these. So to recap, perfect asparagus with a little butter vinaigrette, herbs, our gorgeous risotto, carbonara style with pancetta, all the lemon zest and herbs you'd want, sweet peas, and then a beautiful rhubarb cake. Let's cut into this cake. I feel like we have to. Oh, yeah. This is the moisture content that we were kind of talking about. I can already tell it's just so easy to slide the knife through. This looks so good. I'll hold that sideways up. You can see big pieces of rhubarb. So what I do is I just take a little plate, put it right here, and then you grab a little bit of that whipped creme fraiche, just creme fraiche, literally. It's, again, it's like a really French sour cream. You don't need to sweeten it. You can just kind of dollop it on top. But look at that. That looks pretty killer. All done in the same multi-cooker. We had multiple because we wanted to make sure that the class goes by, but this could all be done together. You could have made the risotto in the bottom, steam the asparagus while the risotto's going, have a seat, eat it all, and that entire time, cook up your cake. All one multi-cooker. You don't have to turn on the oven or the stove. That's a dream. Okay, speaking of a dream, this is the hardest part of the job. Meg, anything in the chat I need to be addressing?
People are just drooling, really.
Virtual drools. Okay, we'll start with the asparagus. I've already tried it, but it's had some minute to sit, which means it's marinating. By the way, this would be great served cold. Yeah. That's all I want in life. Like, I could sit here. Some people want nachos and chips. Marinated dilly asparagus, perfectly steamed. That's my dream. All right, risotto. I'm very particular about my risotto. Dude. Bright. You taste the lemon on the front. The pancetta hits on the back. The herbs are so beautiful. Oh my gosh. This is a little mind-blowing, this one. Don't mind if I just sit here and scarf. That is really good. Like, exceptionally good. All right, I'm going to use my creme fraiche spoon. Let's try the cake. This should be one of those cakes, yep, that you can just kind of cut through, no problem, with the back of a spoon. Yeah, that is lovely. Rhubarb is just so tart. And then when you pair it with a little bit of that sugar, that vanilla, and all those warming spices, like the cinnamon, it's just beautiful. I wouldn't sweeten the creme fraiche. The creme fraiche kind of mellows out the whole cake. It's so moist. I don't think you would be able to get this texture on your any cake. I mean, you can make cheesecake in here. Any cake that needs moisture, I don't think you can get it in the oven like you would the Aroma. That's really gentle. It's really good. It's like, I think Meg called it out. It's like a sticky toffee pudding. I mean, it's really good. I'm just literally eating dinner in front of you guys.
And you were saying that you could like take this recipe and just sub in whatever seasonal fruit.
Totally. Yes, like rhubarb is spring. Summer, replace that with peaches. In this winter, go pears and apples, right? In the fall and winter, so many different options here. You guys, we did it. It's 4:45 my time, 7:45 on the East. And in 45 minutes, we did pretty good. That's awesome. Incredible. Any last minute questions before we sign off? Well, we want to thank Aroma. We love them. We have a lot more classes coming with Aroma. Again, if you want to learn more about them, head to the chat. Incredible company doing some really innovative work. Again, that's Aroma Housewares. It takes the guessing work out of it. The preset, the dishwasher safe, the fact that you're replacing so many different pieces of equipment, again, saves you time, saves you energy, saves you money. It's kind of a no-brainer. So you can go to the link in the chat, or again, just throw in Google, Aroma Housewares. They have a whole suite, awesome products. I want to thank you guys. This is really good. This is my first class back in a while, as I said. Feels good to be back on the horse, kicking. Happy spring, and per usual, happy cooking. Enjoy, guys. We'll catch you later. Take care.